How are we going, everyone? Now, we had a big weekend, all things about grafting on Sunday. Now, for those who missed out or don't know about it, it's basically grafting season now for all your fruit trees and even citrus trees as we get closer to the warm weather. Now, on the weekend, Craig Cashery came down, did a demonstration, 2 workshops on how to graft and various types of grafting techniques, what to look out for, the pros and cons about grafting with home tools, I suppose, kitchen knives versus grafting knives, budding knives, and obviously grafting tools as well. Now, we do have the Italian grafting tool on our website, and I've been playing around with it because we've got that in the store in Coburg as well, and everybody was asking how to use it. Now, what I've got here, I was just practicing a little one there because I haven't done it for a while with the tool, but it's so easy to do. What I've done here is a crown graft. It's what they call it, well, using a crown tool, and we've got a baby little scion wood there, and this is the base of it. Basically, I've taken this off the main tree. Now, what I'm demonstrating here is for those who've got a tree that's not producing fruit or flowers, it's doing nothing, let's say a plum or even an apple, you've got multiple apples and this one variety just doesn't want to perform. Whatever the case is, you want to change the variety, or you basically lost the variety and you've only got the rootstock. And what you'd be looking at is removing all the branches on top and leaving, well, all the fine branches on top and leaving stems like that or branches of that diameter and slightly larger. And the size you'd go up to, give me a second, grab the tool. This is a crown grafting tool. This is about the size you go up to, about 50 mil in diameter, give or take, so that it can fit in here, and then the tool itself can actually do the insertion and cut. Now, this is changing the variety of your tree, and not at the tip of the tree, but rather down below. I've got a dwarf apple here that's going to be pruned now. I haven't pruned this yet, but I'm going to hack into this pretty hard now so that I can get rid of all these wispy branches. But I also want to change this one here for the purpose of the demonstration. If it, I actually ain't going to leave it on here because it's too high for where I want to graft. I would be suggesting anybody to repurposing a tree to start it as low as possible to a trunk or a stem that's wide enough. Now, horizontal branches are fantastic, folks. But if they're horizontal and too flat and they don't have enough grade on them, moisture can get into them and cause a lot of dieback and rotting out. And this is exactly what's happened here. Look at this here. Look at this stem down here. It's all rotted out there. That's because water sits on it, not enough sun shining on it. This is a side note. When you've got a problem like that, you've got to get rid of the whole thing. This is far too gone now. I'm going to use, this is my Lowy anvil pruner number 1. And it's a thick branch. It actually can't get around it properly. Normally a pruning saw, folks. So let me just get rid of this for now with my tool. I'm damaging the bark on the other side. I know I'm doing that. Don't say it. Look what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. There we are. Gone. What have we got? A bit of rot going on in there. What's that? That looks like rot. It's not, at the moment. It's not clean wood, that's for sure. Something's affected it in the past life, or it's getting into it. Anyway, we'll deal with that a little bit later on, and if I find something really terrible going on, well, we'll deal with that and explain it a bit for you as well. So that branch is going to get cut back right to the trunk itself. It's no good. But for example, now there's a branch. Talking about low, there's a branch that I can actually use to do a graft with my crown grafting tool and put a few little scion woods on it. Now, the great thing about that is if you've got an actual trunk that's growing out of the ground, it's only a small tree. For example, like my nectarine over here, which is about to burst into flower and leaf as well. See the uprights there? So I can remove one of those uprights or cut it back, and then I can graft onto that vertically to create my new branching. And that's what we're going to do with this. So if you need to repurpose a tree, this is the cut that the crown grafting tool does, to give you an idea. And this is the Italian grafting tool that does the little cut on the scion wood on top. And basically it fits perfectly. Let me get it in there. Nice and flush. Now, because this is a larger diameter, generally the outer bark layer is slightly thicker than what this one is. So you don't want it to be perfectly flush on the outside. You actually want this to be sunken in just a little bit there like that, And why I say that is because we're trying to line up the cambium layer, and that's where the sap flows. And that sap flow is this little lime green area underneath the outside bark, just in between there and the white wood inside. That's where all the sap flows. So we're trying to line that up like that, and then we leave a couple of buds on top. So that's the result we want to have, and it's not just one that you can do on there. You can do 2 or 3 around it if the stem is large enough and allows for that. So down there, well, I'm not going to bother there. I've got this one up here already. I don't want to bend over anymore. You know, with the old age, mate, all the joints don't work anymore. They're all sort of rigid. This is how we dance now in the 50s. We don't have the wobbles anyway. Sorry. All right, so we start with this. Simple. We've got the blade in there already. We need to line it up. Push that against there. Make sure that line there is center to the stem itself, or the branch, or the trunk. Just like that, and then we press so it squeezes onto it nice and tight, and then we release, and it should just take it straight out, and there it is there. It's come straight out of there beautifully. Now what I've got here is my scion wood. I've got a couple of buds on there, 1, 2, 3, 4 buds, and a little side one there as well. I've just left that on there for now. Now I'm going to use this tool here, and it comes in a kit, by the way. I'll show you that in a minute. Which way are we going to put it? This way. That's it. So this is going to do the other cut for me that I need. Here we are. That's a better way to see it. See that line up there? So we're lining that up dead smack in the middle. Make sure it's parallel. Sorry, I just got to move it around. There we are, like that. And then we just press down, release, and it's taking it out. Okay. Now for this to enter there, the only thing you got to do by hand, see that there? For me to put this in there, which will fit perfectly, I've got to splice that in half. And that's the only time you need to use your little grafting knife to cut it off. So we're just going to come here and do a couple of shaves. This may take a couple of goes to get it right. See, it's still sitting too high. There we are. And then we wedge that in there beautifully, nice and firm. That is super tight there. You want it to be super tight. Nudge. Look at that. That's exactly how you want it to be, folks. See that join there? So the idea is to get no air pockets, no sunlight, no wind to get inside there. It fuses beautifully. Now this is running out at a horizontal angle. Ideally, you want them to be facing upwards, okay? So I'll just use this one as a demonstration. This is not the angle you want to be doing it at. You want to aim for uprights. You want to be cutting down here, like this here, where the branch is actually upright. So by cutting it there, your scion wood will actually be facing on a better angle rather than a horizontal angle. Nothing wrong with that, because you can end up having an espalier if you like, and you could do one on either side if you had an upright and train them that way. But once you've done that, and matching wood, so you can't go be putting cherry trees on nectarines and plums on, I don't know, oranges. Don't go thinking you can do that. And a lot of people, funny enough, a lot of people think you can cross them over. You can't. And if you're not sure about that, you can reach out to us and we'll tell you what you can and can't do. Quickly, this is the toolkit actually. This is the new grafting toolkit that we just brought in. You've got your Italian grafting tool and your crown grafting tool. You've got all your blades with it as well. I love this little kit. And we can do bud grafting as well. So this unit here is designed so you interchange all the blades and connections which go on this. You put on there and you can actually do a bud graft. So this takes out a slice out of the side of the branch. For example, if we were cutting here, it would cut, let's say that's the bud there, let's say it's a viable bud. We go there, it'll cut that in there, take that piece out, and you insert that onto another branch which you do a similar cut in reverse, and so on, so on. You've got approach grafts, you've got your typical wedge grafts and things like that. It also comes with the mastic, the professional mastic and the professional tape. Now this is like a mastic tape as well. It's quite soft, it's sticky, tacky. You only need a very little bit to apply on that, and that is a nice way to do it too. So these are what the pros use. This is the kit. It's already like that. I know a lot of you got your own little grafting tools and all things like that, but for those who want to explore something more, now you can use a mastic, or if you're not going down that path, you can get yourself a little budding tape. This is a nice cheap version of the buddy tape that stretches. This also stretches, but not as much as the other one. And it's important that you wrap it around nice and tight, firmly, to ensure no moisture gets in there and rots it out. So pulling it. See, I'm pulling it tight. And go up the little stem a little bit as well, not too much. And wrap around everywhere. Once you've done that, just cuts off and holds on tight. Then paint over with your steri prune paint or your tree stack or your mastic that you have there to seal it completely. Do not apply the sealant on top of the wood directly and then the tape over the top. That's the wrong way. You don't want it seeping into where the joins are, because the graft joint between the scion wood and the rootstock itself has to be clean and free of any liquids or foreign materials. So wrap it first and then paint it over the top. And this time of the year, get stuck into it. So if you're looking to change your fruit trees, folks, into a different variety, or you simply want to add more varieties onto there, you can do it this way with the grafting tools that we got. It's a kit. It's available on our website, vasili'sgarden.com, or simply use your grafting batting knife. Now, now's the time to actually start grafting your tree. So if you want to change any variety, don't wait any longer. Get out there and start practicing, or simply get onto it. We'll have some scion wood available on our website as well. The grafting show is going to be on next month. The details are on our screen, folks, down in Werribee Mansion. I'll be down there. Craig will be there, along with a lot of other experts who'll be sharing and caring and doing a lot of grafting for you as well. For more information, check out our website, vasili'sgarden.com. Everything's discounted heavily, and I've been asked to drag out the winter weekend sale for another day. So today's the last day. It was yesterday, but they said there's a lot of people who didn't get a chance to get their orders in with the discount code. So winter is the discount code. Take advantage of it. It ends at midnight. From me, Vasili, Maresi.